Hey, what's going on? This is Mayo. So I just want to kind of do a weight loss update and share with everybody what I'm doing. I'm still using Total Life Changes products. I was using the Resolution Drops, the Delgado Slimming Coffee, and the Iaso tea. So I've kind of switched it up a little bit. I started to stall while I was using the Resolution, and when that happens, I start to get really frustrated, and I kind of had a couple of weeks where I messed up, and so I'm back on track now with my weight loss. I'm currently using the Iaso HCG, and I wanted to share my results. I had finished 9 days on it and have lost close to 13 pounds. But what I wanted to share with you, I've had a lot of people make comments about HCG is a very dangerous diet. And, I did some research. I read Dr. Simmons' protocol on HCG, and I read his book, Pounds and Inches, which I highly suggest you read. And there was a very scientific method behind HCG where the hormone is actually using your body's stored fat, and that's what your body is using for nutrition and for energy, and you're actually burning about 1,500 calories a day of stored fat. Well, I wanted to share this experience with you because a 500 a day calorie diet is extremely dangerous if it's not done correctly. I had tried HCG once before, and I think I'd mentioned in previous videos that I felt like I was going to die. And what I had used was the HCG 1234. So come to find out, after I did some research on why I felt so ill, I wasn't losing very much weight. I think in 2 weeks I lost 6 pounds, which the average person, they say, loses 1 to 2 pounds a day. So I felt like crap taking this. I seriously thought I was going to die on this diet. And like I said, I made it about 2 weeks. I lost about 6 pounds. It was really frustrating. I started to stall on it, and once I start stalling, that's it for me. I'll let it go for a little bit, I really lose my motivation if that happens to me. So I later found out that this HCG 1234, I'm going to show you the ingredients. I don't know if it's getting clear or not, if you can see it. But this HCG 1234 does not actually contain any HCG hormone in it. So I was having headaches. I just felt like death when I took this, and it really traumatized me on how I felt about HCG diets, and it really put a bad taste in my mouth. But after I started doing some research on the HCG diet and the 500 a day calorie range, and I started realizing that not only traditional medical doctors were recommending HCG, but that naturopathic doctors were also recommending it. It helps, he wrote in his book that obesity is a disorder, and this resets your body's hypothalamus, and I thought that this would probably be a good idea for me, considering one time in my life I was considered morbidly obese by a doctor. I almost fell out of my chair when he said that to me, but that's the reality of it. That's who I was at one point in time in my life. So while I was doing reading on HCG, and he said that it was the actual cure for obesity, and he gave very certain cues of what a person who suffers from the disorder obesity would have. And I highly suggest you pick up his book. You can find a free PDF, just Google it, and it's a great book to read if you've been a person who struggled with weight. So what I'm using now is the Iaso HCG, and it does actually contain the HCG hormone in this bottle. I wanted to show you where the ingredients are. So right here, it says on the back, that it actually does contain the HCG hormone. This has been a huge difference on how I feel. The first 2 days are your loading days or your gorging days, and then after that is when you start the VLCD, which is the very low calorie diet. And I'm not gonna lie, the first 2, maybe 3 days were really, really, really tough. It kind of made you feel like you were pregnant. So I was really sensitive, like my senses, my hearing, my smell, and the way I felt. I had no energy and I didn't feel very well. And if I'm doing something for weight loss and I don't feel very well, I'll hang in for a couple of days. It's kind of like the stalling. But if I'm not feeling good, that's it for me. I'll be done. So by day 4, I started to notice changes in how I was feeling. And I was starting to notice I was having a lot of energy, and actually my appetite was really decreased. So now after finishing day 9, I want to say that I feel really, really good, and I feel really, I feel like my hunger is suppressed. I have actually no problem whatsoever consuming 500 calories or staying within the 500 calorie a day range. And, yesterday was kind of a struggle for me. I had a hard time even consuming 450 calories. I just had no appetite at all. And the purpose of HCG is to change your relationship with food. I'm a person myself, and most people who are overweight are also these type of people where food is used as a crutch and we emotionally overeat. And, I'm coming out of a very stressful situation in my life. And when that situation kind of reoccurs in my life, it causes me to overeat. So this is definitely changing the way that I'm feeling about food and my relationship with food. And that, there's different activities and different things that you do with yourself instead of eating. You definitely have to switch your mindset. That is for sure. You're not going to be emotionally overeating anymore, as well as you don't realize how much we eat in social settings and in group gatherings where it's kind of the activity is to get together and eat and drink. So this really changes your activities and your relationship with food and your mindset, and gives you a really healthy, positive, new relationship with food. So I'm close to my goal weight, and I've actually hit a couple of my goal weights, but I think this is going to be my final goal weight. I'll see once I'm there if I want to lose any more, or if that goal is a little bit too ridiculous. But I'm 27 pounds to goal. So I'm going to keep everyone updated on how it's going. I'm praying to God that I can get to goal within just the first phase of HCG drops. So I'll keep you updated.